Good day, everyone. We're here today with Patrick Joos, and we're going to hear a little bit about his history. So, Patrick, thanks again for taking the time. So why don't you give us a little bit about your history as far as when you got into real estate and when you came to KW Bluebell?
Sure. So my first stop was KW Bluebell. This is going on to be my 7th year in real estate.
Amazing.
Came from a construction background and started selling about 7 years ago, and it's been great ever since.
How did that background leverage into real estate? And
it's a good question. Actually, I never thought I'd be one of these guys. I saw a huge need for consumers to be represented by individuals who knew more than just real estate. Mm-hmm. So the construction background helps throughout every transaction when I'm representing both buyers and sellers.
Sure, so you can be that subject matter expert for many transactions,
Absolutely.
Right? I'm sure the boots are still in the truck.
They are, just in case, along with the hammer.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. So I know we'll keep this simple. I'm a food guy, right? So we're going to use a food analogy because I know you're a big fan of some of our core services that Bill leads in-house. I could walk to probably 2 pizza shops where I live, but I drive to Philadelphia for the product. Now you're fortunate where we have a pretty darn good product that you utilize in-house in Cross Country Mortgage and Keith.
Absolutely.
Talk about the value of that relationship and just simplify why it works, how you collaborate effectively.
Sure. So my analogy to my buyers is that I'm the quarterback of the transaction, and I want to throw the ball to individuals who are going to catch it. Mm-hmm. So when I work with Keith and his team at our office, not only can I walk across the hall and check in on the file, but I also know that my clients are getting the absolute best service that they can. So not only are they getting professional service, they're getting a professional in the industry who knows the product they're using with their clients. And I've heard nothing but great news from my buyers. When they get to the settlement table, they know exactly what they're buying, what they're financing, and the whole process was clear. It was an open book. It was a smooth process for these clients as they're using these services. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's a bad joke when I use the food thing, but that's the convenience, right? That's what I was talking about, where it's not just that it's close and it's available or accessible. Yeah. You got to execute, right? Absolutely. There's got to be more than that.
Absolutely. Can't just be convenient. They got to pull through, whether it's title or mortgage. My services and the individuals who I bring alongside my services, they are an extension of my business.
Right.
They have
and your
to be,
brand.
And my brand. They have to be professional. They have to come through. And they have to deliver. And in today's world, you have to. Mm-hmm. And I've been very, very pleased with that.
And that's a good analogy to the quarterback piece, because you're orchestrating everything as that as that front line for your consumer.
Right.
So and Bill being here, talk to me about the other core services. You mentioned that you're sort of like I just said, orchestrating the transaction in every phase. Mm-hmm. How does that title meet lending, and give me an example of that?
So it's such a smooth process for my clients when they get dumped in front of them professionals that they don't have to go shop themselves. They are more than welcome to shop. Never had a client find a better deal, find a better company that offers better services. So when I sit down with my clients, I explain, listen, we have in-house professionals at your fingertips, whether it's title, mortgage, or insurance, homeowners and auto as well. So Title Alliance and GMSS has been nothing but title professionals for every single transaction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
whether it's the buy side or the sell side, they have something to offer my clients.
Yeah, for such a young guy, he was just elected into our GMSS Hall of Fame. His capture rate is 100%.
What is the criteria for that?
What we looked at is the last 3+ years of those agents supporting on a high level. And it turns out he was supporting on such a high level, it's 100%. So for the last 3.5 years, he has sent 100% of his business to GMSS and the safeguard. So just speaks to, they wouldn't be able to maintain that level if the service wasn't there. So he holds us to a high standard. And then when you're working with an in-house lender, working with the in-house title company and the insurance company, what does that allow you to do, knowing that all these guys have it all taken care of?
It allows me to go do my job.
Right.
I know they're doing their job. I don't have to check in. And when there is a problem, it's a collaboration of solutions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's next for you in your business?
I tell you, I've never wanted to reinvent the wheel. I just want to make the process smoother and the ride smoother for my clients. So critiquing, growing, and making sure that the consumer knows every step and they're being fed knowledge and professionalism along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really important to me.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I just wanted to speak a little bit about passive income.
Sure.
So we talked about that as a retention tool and then as a recruiting tool. So I know that you have equity. You were able to buy into GMSS, and you're able to buy into Safeguard. That along with profit sharing. So how does that change your willingness to stay with Keller Williams, and how does that affect you, financially as far as having those multiple income streams?
So it's been a game changer. I mean, it's going to take a lot for me to ever leave. To be frank, everything I make off GMSS and Safeguard is going into my kids' college. So by me using professionals and by my buyers and sellers having professional services handed to them, my kids are getting a college education. So they're 3-in-1 right now, and I'm using that money to dump into their college funds. So for me, it's personal, but everybody wins in that scenario.
And I just got chills thinking about that. I mean, I have kids myself.
Yeah.
I have 2 young boys. And I like to hear stories about that because everyone has a different focus on what they want to do with that income, whether it's investing it. But the fact that, this isn't hundreds. This is thousands of dollars a year that are coming in for using a service that's already in-house, and you're profiting off of that. So it's basically, our goal is to make that cap disappear.
Yep.
So it sounds like you're well on your way.
Absolutely.
And you're taking those funds and putting that away into a college fund for your kids.
So my financial advisor looked at the return and said, how do I get in on that?
Right.
I mean,
That's awesome.
We're talking about good returns, good money. It's not, like you said, it's not a couple $100.
That's amazing. You're going to him
Exactly.
for his professional services. He's going time out.
He's saying, how do I join?
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, you can point him in my direction.
All right.